You've been lied to for years by dealerships, mechanics, and even car manufacturers. That's exactly why most cars break down way before they hit 100,000 miles. But today, I'm exposing the truth. These 19 habits help me push my car past 300,000 miles without blowing thousands on repairs. We're tearing down the myths, revealing what actually works, and sharing the tips that make lazy mechanics furious. And trust me, the last habit takes just seconds to do, but it could save you over $8,000 in repairs. Let's get started. 1. Don't idle too long. A lot of people think you need to let your car idle for 10 minutes every morning, especially in winter, or else you're damaging the engine. That's what my neighbor used to tell me, but guess what? That habit could actually be hurting your car more than helping. Modern engines don't need long warm-ups. Idling too long just wastes fuel, builds up moisture in your exhaust, and increases carbon buildup in your engine. I learned this the hard way. I used to let my car idle for 15 minutes every morning until the muffler rusted out. Now, I wait about 30 seconds to a minute, just enough for the oil to circulate. Then I drive gently for the first 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. No stress, no wear. And that small change alone added years to my engine's life. 2. Change oil by time. Everyone talks about changing your oil every 3,000 or 5,000 miles. But here's something most people don't realize. Your oil also breaks down over time, not just distance, especially if you drive short trips. Short trips don't let the engine fully warm up. That means condensation and fuel vapors build up in the oil, making it dirty faster. I once only drove my old Corolla 2 miles a day for work. After 6 months, the oil was still under 3,000 miles. But when I checked it, it looked like black coffee. Now, I change my oil every 6 months, even if I've only driven 2,000 miles. It keeps the engine clean, smooth, and healthy. I'd rather spend $40 twice a year than risk a $4,000 repair later. If you treat oil changes like a calendar event instead of a mileage goal, your engine will thank you, and so will your wallet. 3. Read the manual. Most people never open their car's owner's manual. Big mistake. Inside that little book is everything your mechanic won't tell you. The correct fluid types, when to replace filters, how often to flush your transmission, and even how long your spark plugs are meant to last. It's not just some boring stack of paper. It's your car's survival guide. I used to guess and Google everything until I accidentally put the wrong power steering fluid in an old Honda. It cost me $800 to fix a mess that could have been avoided if I'd just read one page. Now, I check the manual every time I'm not sure. I even printed a cheat sheet of all my car's specs and stuck it in the glove box. It takes 5 minutes to read, and it can save you thousands. Your mechanic guesses, your manual knows. 4. Use quality filters. Only oil filters, air filters, cabin filters, they all matter more than you think. A cheap $5 oil filter might look fine, but inside, thin paper, weak valves, and poor sealing. That means dirty oil stays dirty and pressure drops where it shouldn't. Over time, that adds up to engine wear you never see coming. I once bought a no-name oil filter off Amazon to save a few bucks. A month later, my oil light started flickering at idle. Replaced it with a quality filter? Problem gone. Now, I only use trusted brands, the kind that meet or exceed OEM standards. Yes, they cost a little more, but they work, and they protect the one part of your car you can't afford to mess up, the engine. A $10 filter can prevent a $10,000 rebuild. Don't cheap out. 5. Ignore the brand, check the specs. People get way too obsessed with big-name motor oil brands. They'll swear by Mobil One, Castrol, or Royal Purple like it's a religion. But here's the truth. The brand doesn't matter nearly as much as the specs on the label. What matters is that the oil meets your car's required standards. Your engine doesn't care about fancy marketing. It cares about protection. I've used store-brand synthetic oil that met all the right specs. And guess what? My car purred like a kitten. No smoke, no noise, no drop in performance. If the oil meets or exceeds your manufacturer's recommendation, you're golden. Don't let the shiny bottle fool you. It's the label in fine print that keeps your engine alive. 6. Skip dealer, maintenance packages. The dealership loves to scare you into paying for expensive maintenance bundles. They hand you a long checklist. $600 for a 60,000-mile service, and make it sound urgent. But most of it, totally unnecessary. One time, they tried to charge me $200 to inspect belts and hoses. That's just opening the hood and looking around. The truth is, many of those inspections are either already being done during a regular oil change, or they're listed in your owner's manual as optional. I stopped falling for the upsell and started doing just the essentials: oil, fluids, brakes, filters, all on my terms. And surprise, my car's never been happier. Don't pay for peace of mind you already have. Most packages are just overpriced checklists wrapped in dealership fear tactics. 7. Check transmission fluid. Often people think transmission fluid is a lifetime fluid. Wrong. That idea is a myth pushed by manufacturers who don't expect your car to last past 100,000 miles. Your transmission works harder than almost any part of your car. If the fluid gets dirty or low, it starts slipping, overheating, and eventually failing. And transmission repairs? They can cost more than your car's worth. Even on cars with sealed transmissions, you can still check the fluid or have a mechanic do it. I check mine once a month, and I change it every 40,000 to 60,000 miles, way before it looks burnt. It takes just a few minutes, and it saved me from major breakdowns more than once. Treat your transmission like your engine. Monitor the fluid, keep it clean, and it'll keep shifting smooth for hundreds of thousands of miles. 8. Change coolant early. Most people wait way too long to change their coolant, sometimes over 100,000 miles, because that's what the manual says. But here's the problem. Coolant breaks down with heat and time. When it does, it can't protect your engine from overheating or corrosion. I used to follow the long life label on the bottle, until my radiator cracked on a summer road trip. A $20 coolant flush could have saved me over $600 in repairs. Now, I flush my coolant every 3 to 4 years, no matter the mileage. It's cheap, quick, and it keeps my engine temp rock steady, even in extreme weather. If your coolant looks rusty, cloudy, or smells bad, it's time. Don't wait for a breakdown. A simple flush could add years to your engine's life. 9. Wash the undercarriage. Most people wash the top of their car, the paint, the windows, the rims, but totally ignore the part that matters most: the undercarriage. That's where rust starts, especially if you live in a snowy area where roads are covered in salt. Over time, salt and moisture eat away at your frame, brake lines, suspension, and fuel system. I learned this when my mechanic showed me a rusted-out brake line right before it snapped. After that, I started spraying underneath the car every time I washed it, especially after winter or off-road trips. It only takes a minute with a garden hose or pressure washer. Just spray underneath to rinse off grime and salt. That habit alone has saved me from costly rust repairs and made my car safer to drive. Want your car to last 700,000 miles? Keep the bottom clean. 10. Rotate tires regularly. You wouldn't wear one shoe every day and ignore the other, right? But that's exactly what happens when you don't rotate your tires. Front tires wear faster because they handle steering, braking, and most of the engine's weight. If you don't rotate them, they'll wear unevenly, causing poor traction, vibrations, and early suspension wear. I rotate my tires every 5,000 to 7,000 miles, usually when I get an oil change. It keeps the tread even, improves handling, and actually makes tires last 20 to 30% longer. One time I skipped rotations for a year. The front tires wore out twice as fast, and the uneven wear ruined my alignment. Tire rotation takes minutes, costs little or nothing if you DIY, and pays off big over time. It's a small step that keeps your ride smooth and your car on the road longer. 11. Drive like you're not in a hurry. The way you drive every day has a bigger impact on your car's lifespan than you think. Slamming the gas, riding the brakes, taking corners too fast. All of it adds stress to your engine, transmission, suspension, and brakes. Over time, those aggressive habits wear everything out faster than normal. I used to rush everywhere, hard starts, fast stops, until I burned through a set of brake pads in under a year. That's when I slowed down, literally. Now, I accelerate smoothly, coast when I can, and brake early. It's not about being slow, it's about being smart. Since making that change, I've replaced fewer parts, improved my fuel economy, and my car just feels happier. Driving calm doesn't just save fuel, it saves your car. Treat it gently, and it'll return the favor for hundreds of thousands of miles. 12. Keep the tank above a quarter. Letting your gas tank run near empty might not seem like a big deal, but it could be killing your fuel pump. Your fuel pump sits inside the tank, and it's cooled by the gasoline itself. When you run low, the pump isn't fully submerged, and that makes it run hotter. Over time, that heat wears it out and causes premature failure. On top of that, sediment and dirt settle at the bottom of your tank. When you're running on fumes, your pump pulls in that junk, clogging fuel filters and injectors. I used to drive with the gas light on all the time, until I had to replace the pump. Not fun. Now, I fill up before hitting a quarter tank. It's a simple habit that adds years to the fuel system. Small changes like this can save you $800 or more, and a whole lot of trouble. 13. Use only trusted parts. When a part breaks, it's tempting to grab the cheapest replacement online, especially with so many options that look the same. But cheap, no-name parts often cost you way more in the long run. I once bought a $20 control arm online that looked identical to the $80 name brand version. 3 months later, it failed, and took my alignment and tire tread with it. That mistake cost me over $400. Now, I only use parts from brands I trust, or ones recommended by other long-time car owners. Whether it's brake pads, sensors, or filters, I check reviews, forums, and stick to OEM or quality aftermarket brands. You don't need the most expensive parts, just reliable ones that won't fail early. A $50 part that lasts 5 years is a better deal than a $20 one that fails in 6 months. Don't gamble under the hood. 14. Don't ignore warning lights. We've all done it. Seen a light pop up on the dash and said, I'll deal with it later. But those lights are your car's way of screaming for help before things get worse. I ignored a check engine light once. The car seemed fine, so I kept driving, until the engine started stalling. Turned out to be a failing crankshaft sensor. A $60 fix that became a $600 nightmare after it caused misfires and more damage. Now, I treat every warning light like it matters. I use a $25 OBD scanner to check codes at home. No guesswork, no delays. Even if it's something small, catching it early can prevent a chain reaction of damage. Warning lights aren't just suggestions, they're life-saving alerts. Respect them, and your car will repay you with reliability. 15. Avoid short trips. Quick, cold starts and short drives are some of the worst things you can do to your engine. When you start your car, the oil is thick and hasn't circulated yet. The engine needs a few minutes of running to reach full operating temperature. That's when everything works smoothly. But if you only drive a mile or two, the engine never gets warm enough to burn off moisture and fuel vapors. Over time, that gunk builds up inside, thinning your oil and corroding engine parts. I used to drive just 2 minutes to the store every morning. Then my oil turned to sludge, my exhaust got loud, and the repair bill came fast. Now, I combine errands into one longer trip, or just walk if it's nearby. Fewer cold starts, better performance, longer life. If you want your car to hit 700,000 miles, it needs real drives, not sprints. 16. Listen to your car. Your car talks to you all the time, just not with words. It speaks through sounds, smells, and vibrations. If you pay attention, you'll catch small problems before they become big ones. One day, I heard a faint grinding when turning left. It was easy to ignore. It only happened sometimes. But I trusted my gut and checked it out. Turned out to be a worn wheel bearing. If I'd waited, it could have locked up at high speed. Another time, I smelled burnt oil after parking. A simple valve cover gasket fix prevented an oil fire. Now, every time I drive, I stay alert to new noises, changes in how the car feels, or weird smells. The sooner you notice something, the cheaper and easier it is to fix. Most major breakdowns start as whispers. The secret is learning to listen before they turn into screams. 17. Do a 60-second weekly check. This one habit takes less than a minute, costs nothing, and it's probably the biggest reason my car is still alive today. Once a week, I pop the hood and do a quick fluid check. Engine oil, coolant, brake fluid, and washer fluid. That's it. No tools, no mess, no mechanic. One time I caught a slow coolant leak before the temp gauge ever moved. Another time, I noticed my brake fluid was low. Turned out to be worn pads. These little checks let me fix problems before they became breakdowns. It's easy. You don't have to be a car expert. Just check the levels and look for anything strange, like a weird smell or a loose cap. It's peace of mind in under a minute. Do it once a week, every week. That tiny habit can save you thousands, and might even save your life. 18. Park smart. Where and how you park affects your car more than you think. Tight parallel parking, curb rash, gravel or dirt, kicks up dust and debris. Parking under trees, say hello to sap, bird droppings, and leaf buildup in your vents. But the biggest killer? Parking on an incline without using the parking brake. That constant strain on your transmission can wear out internal components, especially in automatics. Now, I always park on flat ground when possible, use my parking brake no matter what, and avoid tight spots that make me turn the steering wheel when standing still, which strains the power steering system. I also try to park in the shade. UV rays fade paint, crack dashboards, and destroy rubber trims. Park smart, use the brake, and protect your car from the little things. They all add up over time. 19. Keep the battery healthy. Car batteries don't last forever, but most people kill them early without even realizing it. Leaving dome lights on, listening to music with the engine off, or not driving for long periods all drain your battery and reduce its lifespan. I used to replace my battery every 2 to 3 years. Then I learned to check the terminals regularly for corrosion, clean them with baking soda and water, and keep the battery tightly secured. Vibrations shorten battery life too. Now, I also use a smart battery charger if the car sits unused for more than a week. It keeps the charge steady and extends battery life dramatically. A weak battery doesn't just mean trouble starting. It also stresses the alternator and affects other electronics. Take 5 minutes every few weeks to check your battery. That small step could save you from a cold morning with a dead car. Here's the truth no one tells you. Your car is built to last, if you take care of it. You don't need a fancy mechanic. You don't need dealership gold packages or overpriced inspections. What you really need are smart, simple habits, like the ones you just learned. Most cars don't die from bad luck. They die from small things that go unnoticed. Skipped maintenance, bad advice, and cheap shortcuts. But now, you're ahead of the curve. You know better. These 19 habits didn't just keep my car running. They took it beyond what anyone thought was possible. Over 700,000 miles on the original engine and transmission. No rebuilds, no crazy repairs, no flatbed tow trucks. Just consistent care, a little patience, and a mindset that says, I'm not giving up on this car. And that's the secret. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to do it all overnight. Just start. Pick 1 or 2 habits today. Get used to them. Then add a few more. Over time, those little actions stack up. And that's what keeps your car going strong. Because in a world where people throw things away the moment they squeak, rattle, or get a little dirty, keeping a car alive becomes something more. It becomes a mindset, a quiet act of rebellion, a statement that you value what you have. So don't give up on your ride. It's not old, it's seasoned, it's tough. It just needs the right kind of love. Take control, start today, and I promise, your car will surprise you. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. It helps more people see the truth. Subscribe for more no-nonsense car advice that actually works.